Of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps apprehends 7 alleged producers of locally made rifles. And 19 FCT schools to wear new look as FCT Minister flags of rehabilitation of gifted school in Gwagwalada. A very good evening and thank you very much for joining us on the news at 7 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Mariam Abubakar Kana. No fewer than 7 suspects were apprehended by the operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The suspects were involved in the act of producing locally made rifles and pistols in Abuja metropolis. The statement by the National Public Relations Officer, Babawale Afolabi, says the criminal attempt was foiled through a tip-off to the Directorate of Intelligence and Investigation of the NSCDC, who swung into action and apprehended the suspects. Babawale further explains the determination of the Commandant General of the Corps, Ahmad Abubakar Audi's resolve to leverage intelligence to restore sanity and rid criminality of every nooks and crannies of the society. "19 FCT schools are set to wear a new look. This follows the flag-off ceremony of the accelerated rehabilitation and reconstruction of dilapidated school structures of the school for the gifted in Gwagwalada. Onoze Yakubu was there for NTA News. This report will come in our subsequent bulletin. For the second time in more than 6 years, a new set of leadership for the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NTA Channel 5 Abuja Chapel, has emerged after peaceful election exercise. Francisca Bile captured the election and swearing in of the new excos and now reports.
1, please join me in counting. 2, 3, 4.
The narrative has changed after a series of postponement. The second set of leadership of the NTA Channel 5 Abuja NUJ Chapel has emerged. Though they had no opposition candidate, they have unanimously agreed to work for the success of not just the organization, but the chapel.
Truly believe that certain fundamental ethics.
I was immediate past secretary of the last ESCO's executives member, and I want to say that I would like to improve on what we have done in the past. Our union, our welfare can be improved upon, and I will take that to the front burner.
Secretary of the Nigeria Union of Journalists FCT chapter Ochiaka Ogu commends the electoral committee for conducting a free, fair and credible election.
It was a keenly contested election where everybody conducted him or herself in a very good manner.
I think the process was fair, though it was unopposed, but unopposed is also a form of election. I think we're happy today that we were able to agree among ourselves those who are to lead us for the next 3 years.
We were well guided by the constitution of the NUJ, so candidates or aspirants initially were screened to ensure that they meet with the criteria of becoming leaders of the NUJ NT Abuja Chapel.
The union members advised the newly appointed NUJ leaders to embrace teamwork, likewise work in peace and unity, as well as ensure that the interests of the members are their top priority. In Abuja, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
Hearty congratulations to the new ESCOs. Moving on, stakeholders in the health sector have expressed dissatisfaction with the security situation in the country. This is in reaction to the kidnap of dental surgeon Dr. Max Sampson while on his way from work. Health correspondent Hakimat Aliyu reports that members of the Nigerian Medical Association expressed their displeasure during an emergency general meeting held in Abuja.
Intimating members of the press on the recent emergency meeting held by the Nigerian Medical Association FCT chapter, the chairman Charles Ugwai highlighted resolutions to ensure the safety of medical experts in the Federal Capital Territory, recalling the kidnap of one of its members.
Let me take you through the sequence of events that happened. It was on the 10th of March 2024. It was precisely by 8:30 p.m. on the Sunday night. Dr. Mark Sampson Chama was on his way back from work around 8:30 p.m. When he stopped over somewhere along Airport Road here in the FCT, and he was kidnapped by a group of men numbering about 7 who swooped on him.
The briefing served as a platform for the association to voice their grievances and advocate enhanced security measures to safeguard the well-being of medical practitioners. The body called on the Hospital Management Board to look into the posting of doctors to areas close to where they reside to avoid long travels and attendant risk.
We would like to appreciate the following who were very instrumental towards the resolution of this unfortunate event we passed through. The Honorable Minister for FCT, although we did not see him physically, we believe he activated some of the security networks here in the FCT, but we would appreciate that whenever such a situation arises, even when there are no security issues, we should have an unfettered access to the ministry to discuss issues that are related to smooth dispensation of health service delivery here in the FCT.
The association heightened the need for the involvement of private individuals, professional associations, religious organizations, amongst others, in assisting security agencies to curb the menace of insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory and Nigeria at large. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
19 FCT schools are set to wear a new look. This follows the flag-off ceremony of the accelerated rehabilitation and reconstruction of dilapidated school structures of the School for the Gifted in Gwagwalada. Onozie Yakubu was there for NTA News.
Welcome, State Minister, we say to you, welcome. And their directors, we say to you, welcome.
Those captivating musicals by the school band signify the moment of joy expressed by the students. 30 years down the lane, the School for the Gifted in Gwagwalada never had major repair works.
As we embark on this journey of rehabilitation, we are reaffirming our commitment to ensuring that every child in the FCT has access to quality education, to safe and stimulating learning environment where they can grow, thrive, and transform into the leaders of tomorrow.
The environment is totally not permissible for human habitation. So, for remembering this school, they've been very grateful. The students have been very grateful, and they've extended their appreciation. We have a total of 16 classroom blocks to renovate, to reconstruct.
All the facilities of the school are expected to be rehabilitated, as stakeholders say education remains the cornerstone of any meaningful development in the society.
And I want to assure you that all the expectations will be met. It is not only access to education. If you give access to education without quality, then you have not given education. While we are providing access, we must also provide quality.
These children, they are special gifts from Almighty to us. They are the leaders of tomorrow. They are the ambassadors of the nation. So they need a conducive and very suitable place for their learning.
The School for the Gifted in Gwagwalada was established in 1994. Onozie Yakubu, NTA News.
March 21 every year has been declared World Down Syndrome Day across the globe. The day is designated to promote awareness about Down syndrome. Hakimat Aliu in this special report sheds more light on the condition, which is an often misunderstood aspect of human diversity.
On Down syndrome, covering a period of 9 years, revealed an incident of 1 in every 865 births in hospitals in Nigeria. It is a genetic disorder whereby a child is born with an extra copy of the 21st chromosome, also known as trisomy 21.
Basically, it's just like an abnormality when the cells develop. It's a genetic abnormalities. Undergoing the cell division, then you can have an excess chromatic material, chromosomal material.
Down syndrome, expert explains, causes distinct facial appearance, intellectual and developmental delays, as well as disabilities, many of which are lifelong.
It's always very visible when you see somebody who has Down syndrome, and it's really only just because of an extra chromosome. The bottom line is it's a neurodevelopmental disability that is not the child's fault. Don't say because they have a disability they should stay home and you now go and hide them. And they don't believe that it's because somebody in the village, some voodoo or juju or whatever they want to call it. There are reasons for this. It's neurodevelopmental. There's scientific explanation.
Experts advise that children with Down syndrome require special attention.
Therapies and it's something that happens at the level of the gene. So ordinarily, I don't think there's any medication, but you manage them supportively and conservatively. Importantly, we advise that people should shun, stigmatization, because they are human beings like us. They didn't cause what happened to them. It's not their fault, and it's not the fault of their parents.
The child has Down syndrome. It doesn't necessarily mean that the child has mental retardation. It's just that most of the time they have learning challenges. The learning challenge could be mild, could be moderate, could be severe.
The World Down Syndrome Day is observed on 21st March annually to heighten awareness about the condition. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Let's join the foreign desk for the Globe this week.
Thank you, Mariam. Welcome to the Globe, a foreign news segment that brings you up to speed with happenings around the world. I am Serafina Okumekwe. Negotiations to secure an immediate ceasefire in the war in Gaza has reached a progressive stage, and the release for hostages held by Hamas are getting closer to deal, says U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Wednesday. Though Blinken did not give details of what the swap was, narrowing or what ungraded his confidence that an agreement is possible. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden last month expressed confidence that a ceasefire was near and that Benjamin Netanyahu has basically accepted a 6-week ceasefire, while the Palestine says enough aid is not getting to its people in Gaza. Meanwhile, Blinken is to meet with the Arab leaders this Thursday. And moving on to Haiti, following the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse in July 2021, Haiti has had months of political instability and is fast becoming a failed state. More than 100 families have had to set up makeshift camps inside a condemned building, which under normal circumstances would not be deemed for human habitation. The political impasse, which followed the resignation of Prime Minister Henry Ariel, continues as Haitians are constantly told that a U.S.-backed transitional council comprised of 7 members is close to becoming a reality. But the interim administration has still not taken power, brought about any kind of stability on the ground in Haiti. Russia has tortured and arbitrarily detained people in parts of eastern Ukraine it occupies, creating a climate of fear and suppressing Ukrainian identity, according to the United Nations. The UN's Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine has denied entry to Russian-occupied Ukraine and based its report in person with more than 2,400 witnesses and victims. Since Russia launched its full-scale invasion in Ukraine in February 2022, Moscow has seized large parts of tracts of southern and eastern Ukraine, and meanwhile, Vladimir Putin has been re-elected for another 6-year term. That's the much you can take on the Globe this week. The news continues shortly. I am Serafina Omekwe.
Malama, Allah ki bani katin bulo na 1000.
Na 1000? Tam. To shikenan yanzu nan zaka ga alat. Wajen Allah ne yake damun ka me aka maka kake wannan ihun malam?
Ba dole in ihu ba. Wannan malamar ce na ce ta bani katin bulo na 1000. Ta je ta sa min katin 10,000. Ta ya zan iya biyan wannan?
Wannan ai garabasa bulo take yi. Idan ka saka 1000 za su rubanya maka shi domin ya koma 10,000. Shine muke kira 10 times airtime bonus.
Amma ka abun nan kai mamaki.
Abokina ka kwanta da hankalinka. Kaga wannan 10,000 Glo ne ta baka kyauta. That's what me say. Now 10 times we Glo give you.
Kwarai kuwa kai ma za ka iya samun 10 times airtime bonus idan ka sai kati a layin Glo ɗinka. Sai sabon layin Glo.
When you are in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, looking for the best place for relaxation, accommodation and event spaces, then think Bolingo Experia. Bolingo Experia provides the best hospitality for all class of guests and visitors with affordable rate for our different rooms. Our presidential suite gives you a top-notch treat. Check out our executive suite, superior suite, restaurants and catering services, coffee bar, lounge, ambassador bar and a whole lot more designed for your comfort anytime. Bolingo Experia reception from trained professionals make your stay comfortable and homely with an everlasting impression. At Bolingo Experia, we create a delightful ambience and atmosphere of joy for all. Visit us today at Bolingo Experia, 777 Independence Avenue, Central Area, Abuja. Bolingo Experia, hospitality at its best.
Up next, it's Sports Brief.
Nigeria's representatives at the 13th African Games currently taking place in Ghana made podium finish on Wednesday in track and field events, adding to Nigeria's medal haul with the country sitting second on the medals table behind Egypt. Iconic Nigerian world sprinter Toby Amuson won the 100 meters hurdles gold in a time of 12.89 seconds to successfully retain her title for the third consecutive time, having won in 2015 and 2019.
I run for a living. You know, I don't know why people expect me to choose competitions that I need to compete at, and I compete when it's time to compete. So there's nothing like, oh, it's the All African Games, why am I here?
The mixed 4x400 meters relay team with Emmanuel Ojeli, Patience Judge, Sikiru Adeyi and Omolara Ogumakinchu also delivered gold for Nigeria. Oshorise Ishakiri delivered silver, while Olayinka Olajide got bronze for the country in the 100 meters race final. Talking football, as Nigeria and Ghana renew football rivalry in an international friendly this Friday in Marrakesh, Morocco, the Nigerian Football Federation has revealed the squad to execute the match with some names missing due to injuries. Cyril Dezes, Nathan Taylor, Moses Simon, Stanley Nwabali, Fisayo Bashito, Calvin Bassey, Alex Iwobi, Shemia Jai, Jamilo Collins, Bruno Onyemachi and Sadiq Umar have all reported to camp for the crunchy encounter. The Super Eagles under interim coach Finidi George will later take on the Eagles of Mali on Tuesday. With Sports Brief, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Thanks for watching the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Do stay tuned for the translations. Good evening.
Akwai abiku shagbe dai na shebe wa na ba shi amma dai wo amma president sa yi ba wani agwa na ba ye gai ana ba yi ya just dai inge a bakpe ye lo inge anai lafiya ta ta ba sapa ba dai inge ba shi ni mbu ba wani no she abanu ko ku ngai gaga ba sa sa wu ke ba bai ta ba da dai ne ba fi she azanu koi azawai ba bai wa inge shi ba shi ya mark sounds chairman wai shi wa tuta shi ba yi hagima aliyo wa da ege gbadaku ye ku ba bu ba wu pepe sanu ba be shi ye shi a we anya otu we twa bo ba ga ashiko shigbe ko egwa wu anabaja just dai ege na una aye du hutna ya gbadaku anabaji go ngati da baya na nasara eni je enti sapanya ku ashikpaye da gbadaku yenya balaba kipe na ashikpaye ba shiba busubwa na nsaye kwen ye Francisca wada ege ba kuli asheye gbadaku shikpaye gbagbato ugo anyai aza awewei ba kipe nshikpaye ba go de titi kwakuzo fi na gbada nye shikpe da ayi ma fuye debra gaza shi maika wada nge waba ibetu ngachiya wa fi bagbatu en yuje ya na bazaza haiwa wa agbada shikwa yo moshi wa shi shikpe ge wa na agbada yibo anaba yibo zo yibe ja da wasu shikwa si saisu
Masu kallo da sauraron mu assalamu alaikum barkanmu da shan ruwa da fatan Allah ya karbe ba don mu ga fasarar wasu daga cikin labaran mu a takaice mai karantawa Yusuf Yakub. Masu ruwa da tsaki a sha'anin lafiyar ƙasa sun bayyana damuwarsu akan matsalar tsaro da ke addabar al'umma a faɗin ƙasar nan. Wakilar Makima da Aliyu ta rawaito mana cewa 'yan ƙungiyar likitoci ta ƙasa su ne suka bayyana rashin jin daɗin su a yayin taron gaggawa da ƙungiyar ta yi a nan birnin tarayya Abuja, inda ta buƙaci a tashi tsaye gaba ɗaya domin magance matsalar. A karo na biyu cikin shekaru 6 an sake zaɓen shugabannin ƙungiyar 'yan jaridu ta NTA Abuja Channel 5. Wakilin Francisca Bile ta shaida mana cewa an gudanar da zaben cikin lumana, sannan an rantsar da shugabannin ƙungiyar 5 wanda suka bayyana farin cikinsu da shirinsu na ci gaba da aiki tare tukuru. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan, a takaice sai gobe idan Allah ya kai.
Igbo ndị ọma ya dịkwara unu na mma. Ọ bụ m Chisom Okafor ji nke abalị a ka anyị gaa n'iru. Ndị aka ha dị n'ọrụ ahụike ekwupụtala enweghị afọ ojuju na ọnọdụ nchekwa dị ugbu a n'ala anyị. Ha kwupụtara nke a dịka ha na-emetụ aka na ntọrọ atọrọ otu onye ọkachamara n'ọrụ nlekọta eze Mark Samson Chama. Onye nta akụkọ anyị n'ọrụ ahụike Hakimat Aliu batara anyị akụkọ na ndị otu ọrụ ahụike a kwupụtara nke a dịka ha nwere nzukọ gbatagbata na Abuja, ebe ha jikwa ohere arịọ ụlọ ọrụ obodo a na-ahụ maka ọrụ ụlọ ọgwụ na ọchịchị obodo a ka ha nye aka na nchekwa nke ụlọ ọgwụ dị iche iche na ndị ọrụ ha. Nke a bụ nke abụọ ya n'ihe karịrị afọ 6 enweela ndị ndu ọhụrụ nke otu ndị nta akụkọ akpọrọ NUJ ngalaba nke NTA Channel 5 site na ntuliaka emere nke ọma na Abuja, bụ nke họpụtara Comrade Deborah Maịka dịka onye isi oche. Francisca Billa webatara ihe ndị emere n'oge ntuliaka ma kwuo na eduru ndị ọhụrụ a n'iyi ọrụ site n'inye ha ndụmọdụ ka ha tinye uche ụlọ ịhụ na ngalaba ndị nta akụkọ a wetara uru dị na ọrụ ha. Edukwara mmadụ 4 ndị ọzọ so ya n'ọrụ dịka osote onye isi oche, odeakwụkwọ ego nakwa oji ego nke ngalaba a. Otu a ka anyị nọ na nke abalị a ka anyị bọọ n'uchi. Ndewo.
tí gbọ́yìn Mobọ́lájí Máti ni oníròyìn. Àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ìlera kàn ti fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wọn hàn lórí ipò tí ètò ààbò wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè látàrí oníṣègùn òyìnbó kan, dókítà Mark Samson Chama, tó bọ́ sí ọwọ́ àwọn ajínigbé lẹ́yìn tó parí iṣẹ́ òòjọ́ rẹ̀ tí ó sì ń darí padà sí ilé. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Akimoto Aliyu ròyìn wípé níbi ìpàdé pàjáwìrì tí ẹgbẹ́ àwọn oníṣègùn òyìnbó lórílẹ̀‐èdè ṣe ní ìlú Àbújá, wọ́n bu ẹnu ẹ̀tẹ́ lu ìwà náà. Inú gbogbo ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ náà kò dùn sí ìwà pálapàla ọ̀hún. Wọ́n fi àkókò náà ké sí àwọn aláṣẹ láti gbé ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ. Bí ó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé ó lé lọ́dún 6 tí wọ́n ti ń darí ètò àwọn oníròyìn ní iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì 5 ti ìlú Àbújá, ẹ̀ẹ̀kejì nìyí tí àwọn aṣíwájú tuntun máa fojú hàn bí wọ́n ti ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìdìbò ní ilé-iṣẹ́ náà. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Francisca Abdulẹ̀ ròyìn wípé ètò ìbò náà wáyé nírọ̀rùn nínú ọgbà ìkànnì 5 l'Àbújá. Àwọn olùdíje wọlé láìsí alátakò, láìsí àní-àní. Wọ́n búra fún wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣíwájú tuntun tí yóò darí ẹgbẹ́ náà. Ọ̀pọ̀ ìmọ̀ràn àti ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣítí wáyé lórí bí wọn yóò ti gbé ẹ̀ka ìkànnì 5 dé ibi gíga. Àwọn olóyè tuntun náà pinnu láti ṣiṣẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ tó kì í dùn púpọ̀ ṣó ní ọbẹ̀ oge. Títí ìwòyí ọ̀la, Ojúmọ́ Ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.